Alright, welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified Podcast. Today is July 5th, 2023. I am your host, Luis Palacio, with my co-host, Chris.
Hey, it is your boy, Pokemon Trigger, please. It's a late night, but we're definitely excited to be here. I know I am, at least.
Well, I mean, Drowsy has been feeding me, some dreams today. It's like just hypnotizing me for me to go to sleep and all that. I know, right? How was your week? How's your week been?
It's been a good week. Honestly, I wish I played more during the dark. It was the Darkness Flames, right?
Dark Flames, yeah.
Dark Flames. I wish I was able to play more during that, but I'll be real, I was kind of lazy. But yeah, the spawns are awesome for that, so I was definitely enjoying myself going around. Barely saw any Turtonator raids, just from my point of view.
Yeah.
Like, that's how little I was in the game. And it seemed like whenever I put the phone down, I would turn it back on and I would see, oh, you missed a raid from blank, like constantly. I was like, are you kidding me? Are people waiting for me to put down my phone?
Right.
I was so disappointed. But yeah, I finally, I literally had 3 Turtonator quests, for like a whole day or two. And then finally on that 3rd day, which I think was the last day of the event, was when I finally was able to complete them all. Good.
Well, I mean, I don't know. We'll get into that in just a moment when it comes down to Dark Flames and all that. So yeah, we once again here to talk about Pokemon Go news, updates, and ranting about the game because we love the game just as much as everybody else. Don't forget we are part of the Professor Network. Check us out, professornetwork.com/Purified Podcast. Wonderful people to work with every single time. So yeah, keep grinding, everybody. I mean, we definitely have a lot to talk about. The reason that we are hours away, probably 2 hours of a report of this podcast for Pokemon Go's 7-year anniversary.
Woo-hoo.
So that's 7 years strong. This game doesn't look like it's going to slow down anytime soon. We definitely have an up and downs. We're probably going to do a little bit of reminiscing this today, since that's technically what we just got it to, because if not, it's going to be a little too late by the time we talked about it next podcast anyways. But yeah, 7 years. Holy Jesus. It's crazy to think that we've been playing this game for 7 years, almost nonstop at this point. But we'll get to that in just a moment. So yeah, when you say Dark Flames event, recapping the whole week's of gameplay, it was a really short event. So it kind of felt like the whole hunt for Turtonator was kind of like demise to the point where it was kind of like you had to go out and really get all those like tasks and then do the race at the same time.
Yeah.
So you needed to really plan it out, and unfortunately, since it happened like in the middle of the week until the end of the weekend, it kind of didn't feel like we had enough time to really enjoy it. But it was still a pretty okay event. I myself really didn't do much until the last day. And then a friend of mine hit me up saying, hey, let's go and hang out. As somebody who actually haven't played the game in a long time. So we're like, okay, let's go ahead and just cruise on Sunday. She did say that she couldn't really finish the research until the last hour. Because, at least the time research, because she needed to actually get a Dark Grunt and then purify it. And that, for some reason, wasn't appearing as more frequently. Like, there was a lot of things in the whole news of Dark Flames that said, oh, more rockets for Dark and Fire, whatever you choose will appear more in the map, or your balloons and things like that. But if you use it, but I barely get any.
Yeah, definitely not on the map. I don't know about that. Maybe like balloons though.
I wasn't really getting as much as I thought it would be either, but I chose the easy one since it was the fire type. So
yeah, I was like, we live in Florida. I'm choosing fire.
Bro, dude, the heat today was probably the worst I have actually felt it in a long time. Like and I wasn't even working outside. Like the moment I just step out of my car, I feel like I was already cooking. I was like,
yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those things. In the end of the day, we also had Sableye, Mega Sableye released the very first time. So that was another thing that you needed to. So I actually kept doing that more than looking for Turtonators, because Turtonators, if you find them, cool. If you get the shiny, cool. But most of the times the odds are against your favor, and just getting the shiny probably would have getting forever. Which we did say that getting the shiny Turtonator was going to be one of those like incredible hunts that people are going to be like, oh, we got to spend all our money on this. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah, it's kind of like, if you get it, cool, but I'm sure it's somebody's favorite Pokemon, but do I think it's a top tier shiny?
No.
It's not one of the ones I go ham on. Let me put it that way.
At the same time, Turtonator doesn't really have like that much liability in any type of mechanic in the game. Like it's not really good in raids unless you go for a really, 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 really low budget option for any fire or dragon types. It's not really good in PvP as far as I heard. It hasn't really gotten any moves that will entice it to play in the PvP.
Yeah, it is an interesting typing. I will say that.
Well, I mean, Charizard can do the same thing.
Fire dragon, yeah.
Mega Charizard, at least. So, so it's just one of those things that just makes it more like a trophy rather than anything else. Now, of course, it will be the very first one that I would get if I were to get the shiny, but it's just one of those things at the end of the day that I'm just like, if I get it, I will. If I get invited, but it's just the same as Dredagon. I got the shiny randomly just by doing one raid. Yeah, so it's one of those things that you just have to pace yourself, and then eventually it will become a more often easier shiny to get in the future. But yeah, I mean, congratulations to anybody who actually got it. That'd be cool. The task for the rewards of getting Turtonator was win 3 raids, and of course that's still, making you do 3 raids throughout the day. But there were actually a lot of them throughout the event. I actually did like maybe 5, 6 here. Actually, let me go through my whole real quick, because I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Turtonators that I did. 2 of them were from the raids, or probably just weather boosted as far as I know, but most of them were actually just from the research. So I did at least 6, 7, 8 research from it, so that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, none of them are good IBs, unfortunately, but I'll probably just keep them for tray bait anyways. Actually, I got a 14, 14, 14. That's not bad, I guess. But yeah, after that, just to quickly go over my whole shinies, the only thing I can think of is the shiny Rayquaza I traded today, just to see if I can get a lucky one, but of course I wasn't lucky. I did at least get a Hondo, so I'm not fully out of it this week. I did get a random Hondo Carvana. That's my second one.
Nice.
So I have completed the family for Carvana, since I already have the other one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you already have the Mega ready for the other one, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. So it's ready to go for whenever the Mega comes out. So it's not too shabby, and in the same time, it's like it's not the worst thing to actually get, since it's one of those. I gotta do a cleanup soon. But yeah, I'm waiting for the Mega to come out so I can go ahead and evolve it. I do get the extra large candy, so I guess I'll probably trade a few so I can get enough extra large candy to max it out.
Yeah, we're definitely in a good state too to get Carvana.
Yeah. How about you? What's your haul?
Yeah, just want to shout out Zach and Manny real quick. But
Thank you for coming.
I actually got the shiny I wanted from this event. The Dark and Flames event. I got a shiny Numel.
Hey.
Yeah, right before I clicked on it too, I was like, "Oh, A, go plus." And I clicked on it. I'm like, "Oh, thank God," because it was the shiny.
That's cool. I'm surprised you didn't get one. Well, I mean, you didn't go to Golf Fest either, so.
I don't think I got one before, but like I'll double check. But I also was able to get. Oh, I did have one already. You learn something new every day. Well, I got the family.
Family, yeah, there you go.
But I also got a like 1900 CP shiny Tangela, which I know I already had it, but it's pretty nice to get. They've been spawning like crazy for some reason this week after the event. And then after that, from literally the Go Battle Day, I got a shiny Wingull. I was like, what?
Might as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got really weird IVs because they just give really weird IVs during that. But I was excited to see it. I will say that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my haul. I didn't get any hundos since last week, so
Hey, at least
nothing to say there.
for some reason, I feel like a lot of the gameplay has slowed down for me just a tiny bit. I mean, I still run the Go Plus all day. I'm in places where I can run the Go Plus all day. So it's not much that it's bad. It's just I just haven't gotten anything good or a surprise shiny here and there when it comes down to it. So
It is pretty hot right now too, to be fair.
oh yeah, it's horrible, Florida. So here's how the pan out today worked for me. So I went to work. It was like 8:30. I checked the weather. It was like 88 or something already, and the feels like was like 93. By the time midnight came around, it feels like 106. But sometime around 1 o'clock, it was like 112. It feels like 112. So I'm like, no. I didn't really like. Again, if I wasn't working if I wasn't working inside, I would have probably scorched to that when it comes down to it. So I guess I'm lucky enough when it comes down to having AC, even though one of my
love
other
that AC in Florida.
yeah. If it breaks, then we're dead. But yeah, so yeah, there you go. But yeah, so that's one of those things. It's like if you're really going to go hunting, especially in this types of weather when it's summer, it's just a full peak heat. It just be very careful not to overheat yourself or anything like that. Even during this weekend's Community Day Classic, we're really going to be like going as painless as possible. I'm probably gonna just do a car ride through SCF.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool one, but it is a repeat at the end of the day.
Yeah. The glasses are the only thing. The squirrel. It's probably the only thing that really chases about it. So yeah, I may do that. I may do the research. Yeah, and then after that, I'll be fine. I don't need like immensely amount of shinies or anything like that because at the end of that, I'm just gonna transfer to home. I'm gonna be doing a cleanup pretty soon too. So it's gonna be one of the.
That's on a Sunday, right?
Yeah, this Sunday. Though I feel like I may only be able to play a couple hours. I do have some other things that I have to do before 5 o'clock. So I'm gonna literally hit the road, finish the first hour, probably finish all the research, try to do as many research around to do, and then just head home because I really gotta finish up a few other things anyways.
Okay. Yeah, definitely gotta link up for a little bit then that day.
Yeah, just be ready for it then. But yeah, so that's gonna be basically how this week is gonna go out for us. We'll do a little prep party for Community Day Classic and all that.
Yeah, some balls.
But definitely, so let's get into today's research topics of the day. Got a couple of news here today. One of them being something that we didn't discuss last week, but it literally came out like the day off or the day after, I think, after the podcast. And this is what Niantic is basically doing. This is not just a Pokemon Go update. This is a company-wide update when it comes down to it. So this is the Niantic's organization update. Basically what this says, because there is a lot to actually talk about here, John Hanke shared the following email with Niantic employees. They are making changes to the whole production value in Niantic. Basically, the key points to take about this is, number one, they have made the decision to narrow the focus of some of their mobile game investments, concentrating on first-party games that mostly strongly embodies our core values and location and local social communities. That being said, specifically, this means that they'll be closing the LA studio, reducing our game platform team, and making additional reductions across the company. As a result, we will be sunsetting, basically closing, NBA All World and stopping production on Marvel World of Heroes. This means that we are also laying off 230 employees from Niantic. Really quick before we go to the next bullet point to this. First and foremost, I'm sorry for everybody who actually got laid off from this announcement. The 230 employees, there was even some members of the Pokemon Go team that was laid off because of this too. So a heartfelt, hug to anybody who was affected by this. Really something that we never want to see a company do. But, it's straightforward. I mean, I guess they made the decision on a few things. And The takeaway when it comes down to it, really, it's not their fault. It's more like Niantic was probably putting themselves a little too thin when it comes down to it. And unfortunately, they do have to go ahead and do this kind of changes. But again, a hug and heartwarming heart to anybody who was affected by this. So really, we still feel sad regardless of, we don't ever want to see a person really get fired or laid off just like that for no reason. But I guess it was meant to be after so years and everything. Why did this happen? Well, basically what they said is that during COVID, their revenue was actually up like a lot. But by the time by the time COVID ended and anything post-COVID, the revenue went back to normal. So making the expansions that they did for all the other games that were planning to release either this year or next year, however they may be, never really panned out. And unfortunately, there are a lot of games that can't just put the effort into it if they know it, and then at the end of the day, they're just not going to be the type of game that's going to really align for the core values and at the same time don't make it a lot of money. So, it's just like a business kind of deal. They really have to work out to make sure the company stays strong when it comes down to it. Basically, that's what they're saying. They focus a lot on their marketing material when it comes to obtaining POIs and everything. And then at the same time, putting the effort that unfortunately will not pan out when it comes to a couple of those games. So, another policy when it comes down to it. Moving forward, what does that mean for Niantic? It says, we remain long-term believers in augmented reality as a future form factor for computing, so they are still focusing on augmented reality when it comes down to the games. They believe that they can build a key component and platform service that will help realize the promise of the technology shift. And then the rise of MR, it says right here, I think it's MetaQuest Pro, Apple Vision Pro, validates the long-term importance of AR, but this class of device is only an intermediate stepping stone to the true outdoor AR experience. Basically saying that they will invest in more of the AR technology. At the end of the day, there are some new devices coming out, like the Apple Vision Pro that they got announced a month or so back, which basically is like a headset for your phone, and then you'll be able to literally do things in holographic form or something like that. I guess using your voice and then your eyes when it comes down to a lot of different things. And then MetaQuest Pro, same thing when it comes down to it. I haven't really heard much about that. But they are still trying to say that this is just a stepping stone because they want to go to a true AR experience, just to make sense of it in the end of the day. But to finish up, and this is the big part when it comes down to it, the adjustments to the strategy and investments are currently. The top priority is to keep Pokemon Go healthy and growing as a forever game. While we made some adjustments to Pokemon Go's team, our investments in the production and team continues to grow. So, yes, even though there were some people affected because of these changes and these layoffs and everything, they are still trying to make the right adjustments to make sure that Pokemon Go's healthy gameplay liability will go for the future. I mean, we're going 7 years now. Hopefully, we can stay 3 more years and we can finally get a 10-year anniversary when it comes down to it. So that would be nice. But we'll see how it goes when it comes down to it, of course. We'll also be focusing on recently launched games, a success in terms of our retention, revenue, and profitability. They're confident about the prospects for Pikmin Bloom, Period, and Monster Hunter now, which will be one of the final APs that they're going to keep on working for now on. This is, again, something similar to Pokemon Go because it's in like a, adventure RPG kind of game in the end of the day. They are reducing and focusing our platform team in lines with a reduced number of games they're building, with the goal to do less and better. And then, of course, investing more in the AR map and AR platform to enable developers to build, grow, and monetize their own AR experiences. Many more words when it comes down to it. And, of course, they say in the end of the day that although it's sad to have to change these things, they want to make sure that their vision still remains unchanged when it comes down to it and make sure that the profitability both of the AR investments and Pokemon Go will thrive because, again, Pokemon Go is really the one game that has made it all in sense and up forwards from then on. So that's basically it. I really only wanted to go over the bullet points that I read and felt like were important when it comes down to it. You do have the chance to read the whole entire blog in their Niantic website. So before we actually get into a little more discussion, Chris, any thoughts about anything that we just read?
Yeah, definitely feel for the people that, got a job loss or, also the people that were looking forward to a few of the games. I mean, like I know a lot of people were sad when they dropped the Hogwarts game and also the
Yeah,
NBA All-Stars game.
yeah.
The Marvel one, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of interested in that, but never saw the light of day, it looks like.
I think they were in beta testing in Australia, but they
Oh,
never really
really?
capitalized it on it afterwards. So it
Okay.
kind of sucks that in the end of the day we really didn't even get a trailer. I think we got a trailer, but we just didn't get like a true sense of what the game would have been or could have been in that moment. I think if we actually find the internet, we could probably find a couple of videos from here and there. Maybe some content creators that really wanted to work it out.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I definitely feel like they could have, let that one try a little bit, but I know that's probably a bit more tricky to work with, kind of like the Harry Potter one, just when it comes to like licensing and everything.
so the way that I see it when it comes to their IPs, which is their investment
Mhm.
actual games that they want to work with. A lot of the IPs that they mentioned, ABM World, Marvel World of Heroes, Wizards Unite, which was the Harry Potter game,
Mhm.
and I think that was the one. Transformers was also another one that a lot of people were actually excited, but unfortunately it fell to the cracks a year or so ago. All of those games, unfortunately, whenever I hear about them, it doesn't feel like it's supposed to be an outworldly experience when it comes down to it. There may be a couple of things here and there, but it's never really the exploration part of the game that I was more invested when it comes down to this game. It's more like the story based on it, and at the same time, the fighting part of it. It's like, so
Mhm.
unless they really had thought about how all of this was going to be integrated into AR and the other world experience, which is, of course, their core mechanics, I never felt like those kind of games really could work out those things. Now, ABA World could be one, but it's like on the thin line between really going out and doing the things that you wanted to do, but at the same time, it's not something that you just magically go into a place and then just meet up with one of those famous NBA persons and all that stuff in the game or something like that. So it didn't feel like the type of games that needed to be turned into AR games for that reason. It could have worked. I mean, they definitely had an idea, but most of them really didn't have a core sense of how to really play it. Now, comparing this, and unfortunately, it's really hard to say that comparing this to Pokemon Go, which we know it's an exploration game because we know that you can go out, see the Pokemons out there in the world, catching them, training them, grinding them. When it comes down to it, it just makes sense that Pokemon Go is something that you can actually do. It's something that we felt we needed to because we know that the core value of the series is to go out and catch Pokemons. That's something that it makes more sense, at least in my regard, when it comes down to an exploration game, aside from other ones that seem more like a fighting game in all in between. So, anything else before we finish up here?
Um, all I can say is, I'm hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hopeful this makes the games that are still in place, get traction and can grow out of it. Um,
That definitely.
I try to look on the bright side.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I know there is a lot of people affected. There's definitely going to be there's a lot of people who I follow on Twitter that they're definitely going to, um, you know, they have been affected. They have said that unfortunately this is how they found out that they had to be laid off. Things like that. They're amazing people, and from what I hear, a lot of them have always been great in what they were doing for both the Pokemon Go game or any of their Niantic games and values when it comes down to it. I just like you said, looking at the bright side, hopefully this also puts in an emphasis on actually making Pokemon Go the core center of everything that Niantic really needs to show, and hopefully the other games will thrive with the same sense in the end of the day. So, at least the ones that are still going when it came down to it in the end of the day. So, this is a good thing in some sense. That means that the focus will be really large in saying that Pokemon Go can be a forever game. Now, of course, we have heard a lot of words from Niantic before in the past, and it some of them has come through, some of them haven't. But I believe that at least in this sense, aside from probably keeping their jobs. They're definitely going to try to do their best to keep the one game that has truly been their success story for all of this in the end. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts. Of course, there is the toxic side of Twitter, but I'm not going to go over that because at the end of the day, let people think what they want, and let them rage the way that they think that they know it all when it comes down to it. So there's definitely some people that are taking advantage of this just to bash on Niantic because they think that this is not something they should have done from the very beginning. Companies can go over a lot of different things when it comes down to changing their core mechanics, their core values, and all that, but it's reasonable, I guess is probably the right word to look at it. But for some people are just saying that this shouldn't have happened if remote race were a thing or remote. I'm like that's not how it fucking works. So
yeah, that's a very small piece of the puzzle, honestly.
Yeah, it's like not even the 1% of Pokemon Go players even did that many remote raids. Only the people that were only on Go about only doing it forever, So, anyways, again, I'm not gonna get into them because again, that's just the Twitter side of things that I never really, unfortunately, I read about, and then I just even Ken was just like heat up on it just because people were just planting their seed of, oh, this should have happened because of this or this. I'm like, no, you just don't know the meaning behind a lot of different things that happens in companies. And this is just a way of you saying you want to get your way again. That's all there is to it. Anyways, so that's Niantic's layoffs and press release when it comes down to it. So not a good thing to start with when it comes down to it, but we had to be said. Let's get into what is Pokemon Go wise. Let's get back into Pokemon Go, I guess. There is a time and date for every celebration out there, and 7 years is strong for us here. But Pokemon Go's 7-year anniversary will be full effect. Actually, it's in full effect right now in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
But it's time to celebrate with 7 stellar years, and it's time to party. Here, let me go ahead and get you to everybody here. So 7 years, trainers. There's always something happening in the world of Pokemon Go, and soon there will be a 7-year anniversary, which literally is tomorrow. Join us to celebrate the 7-year party event featuring rotating bonuses, glimmering gimmickal coins, different Pokemons appearing each day to help us celebrate, and the return of a shiny Master World Research story, and more. Now, Chris, don't get too excited. Let me just go over what this is about.
Oh no, I'm not gonna lie. I was getting excited about the Gimme coins.
Oh, there you go. Cool. That's probably a good thing to be excited anyways. So Thursday, July 6th at 10 a.m. to Wednesday, July 12th at 8 p.m. local time. So this is a 6-day event. The Pokemon debut in this time will be actually Party Hat War Turtle and Party Hat Blastoise. This is basically, the party hats that we get during the 2020 Go Fest, and they're finally be able to evolve.
Yeah, the one of the worst part.
What?
The only shiny I have out of the party hat starters is Squirtle.
Well, I mean that means you can finally evolve it, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, get the whole family. Yeah.
You can also encounter them as shiny if they are available in the wild or raids, so that's actually another thing. But most of them you can evolve through the Squirtle party hats that you had already. The event bonuses. So we'll have, actually, just like they mentioned, that we'll have rotating bonuses throughout a couple of days. The biggest bonuses throughout the event, though, will be increased chance of becoming lucky friends, which is actually pretty cool. Increased chance of Pokemon becoming lucky through trades. That's also pretty cool. So make sure you do all your special trades throughout those days. And then a chance of finding 777 or more Gimmickle coins when you spin a Pokestop with a golden lore module.
Or more.
Yeah.
More than 77. Well, okay.
So it could be 777, 777, 7077. I don't know. I don't think they're going to give us 7077, but you know what I mean.
I mean, to be fair, when it says or more, it could be less than 77 too. It could be more options than this.
Yeah, true, but we'll see. Although I thought when I read this
we
the first,
our golden lures though.
Yeah, I thought when I actually read this, I thought that it meant that we'll have gold stops around, but it looks like only through the gold lore is when you're actually be encountering that. So we're gonna have to do a gold party probably before Community Day Classic. I'm gonna have to start really getting my streaks going again so I can get a lower gold lore for this.
I don't quote me on this, but I think people were saying that you can still get the golden lures like pretty consistently as soon as you get the first one.
Yeah, so I just gotta. I unfortunately, like, I tried to start a streak for it, and then I completely forgot after the second day. So I keep forgetting about doing that. But we have a couple of days before Sunday, so I should be able to get a Golden Lord by then. So maybe we can actually plan out a Golden Lord party at a place that we're not gonna be as hot as hell, though. So we'll figure it out. So yeah, there is that. Then the additional bonuses will be rotating throughout the days. On July 6th, which is the start of the event, we'll have 2 times experience for catching Pokemon. Chris will start catching everything. July 7th, we'll have 2 times Stardust for catching Pokemons. July 8th, we'll have 2 times Candy for catching Pokemons. July 9.
This is weird.
I know, right? July 9, we'll have half egg hatch distance when eggs are placed in incubators during the day. July 10, friendship levels will increase twice as fast.
Ooh, some friendships are going to be ended on that day.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. July 11, 2 times candy from transferring Pokemon. And then July 12, the last day of the event, we'll have 2 times experience for evolving Pokemons. Note to self that these bonuses will last from 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. each time. So basically, by the time we go to sleep tonight at 12 or something like that, it will already be effective for everybody. So that's actually pretty neat.
Yeah, it's interesting that they're doing each of the bonuses for one day, but
it's basically 24 hours.
I prefer it the other way.
It's basically 24. Well, technically 23 hours and 59 minutes. All right, wild encounters. We have falling Pokemon will appear more frequently in the wild. Squirtle wearing a party hat. Pikachu wearing a Kate hat, Meowth, Ponyta, and Togedemaru. Some trainers will even encounter Galarian Ponyta and Absol in the wild. Galarian Ponyta is really a good chase. I haven't really gotten the shiny from that yet.
I do like it. I think it'd definitely be a good one to get for PvP reasons too.
True. And then the falling Pokemon will also appear in certain days. We got July 6th, the party hat, first gen starters, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander will appear on July 6th.
Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe that's my chance.
There you go. July 7, Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile. July 8, Trico, Torchic, Mudkip. July 9, Turtwig, Chimchar, Piplup. Do you know this following pattern? July 10, Snivy, Tepig, and Oshawott. July 11, Chespin, Fennekin, and Froakie. And then July 12, we have Rowlet, Litten, and Popplio. Are your Pokeballs hurting, brother?
Yeah. I just because of calm days, this is kind of weird. I will be definitely trying to grind extra large candy though, I suppose, especially for the July 12th and July 10th, I suppose, and obviously July 7th, just for Hisuian Pokemon. I'm very hopeful we'll be able to evolve those ourselves.
Yeah, so there is a couple of ones that you want to note. Just like Chris has mentioned, Hisuian Cyndaquil, Hisuian Cyndaquil, what am I talking about? Hisuian Typhlosion, Hisuian Samurott, and then Hisuian the CUI will be very important for some of the evolutions in the future. So best get them. Unfortunately, if you haven't gotten out shiny to release through their community days, we will not have their shiny to release right now.
Yeah, poor Froakie.
I feel like Froakie should have been this month, but that's still come when it comes to.
It might be afterwards.
You really think that August they're gonna give us a Froakie when we have Go Fest through everything? It's gonna be tough.
I mean, it was voted the favorite Pokemon of everyone last year, so maybe.
Maybe. We'll see. I said that like 2 years ago. Anyways. Okay, cool. Thank you, Darcy.
That's some beautiful singing.
That's for sure. I mean, thank you, listeners out there. 1-star raid. So we're now into raids. The starters plus Pikachu with their party hats and cake hats will be appearing in 1-star raids. So if you really don't think that you can find it in the wild, this is your chance, y'all.
Bro, I'll take Bulbasaur and Charmander, not Squirtle, though.
You'll be catching more of them anyways.
I already have it.
I know. Let's get another one. Get the family then. Anyways, 3-star race. Magneton, Lapras, Flareon, Snorlax, and Celio. That's a weird Celio from Gen 1.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest one I can see. 5-star race. We do have the legendary bird trio. Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres will be appearing all 3 of them. And then the Mega race. Mega Blastoise, since, of course, it's getting his 7-year anniversary. You know that, of course, the 7th Pokemon is Squirtle, right? So,
that is actually funny. I didn't think about that.
Makes sense. Kind of like feel like that's what they've been doing for the whole this time, but you know, it's kind of makes sense anyways. Anniversary Team Field research stacks will be available, complete to earn encounters with the first partner Pokemon such as Bulbasaur, Cyndaquil, Mudkip, and more. Some field research stacks will also award Mega Energy. Whew. Jesus, I'm tired. Mega Energy for the following Pokemon. Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, Sceptile, Blaziken, and Swampert. So if you actually haven't gotten enough Mega Energy for a lot of those Mega Evolution, this is your chance, y'all. Getting those are actually pretty good anyways. Getting those free, still good.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah. Time Research. So for $2, the Time Research, you can buy that. And you can get things such as hatching 7X or evolving 7 Pokemon to receive the following. I don't know what that means. 1 incubator, 1 super incubator, 1 premium paddle pass, 1 lucky egg, 1 rocket radar, 1 star piece, 1 incense, and then 77,777 experience. And then an encounter with a Pikachu with wearing a party hat.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, for $2, all those premium items are pretty good anyways.
Yeah, I think honestly with just the lucky egg and the premium battle pass, I know it sounds silly, but I don't see a lot of lucky eggs anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Although you got to be using them. You're almost 50.
Yeah.
Once again, you know, the time research has to be done during the time period of the event, so make sure you finish it before it actually ends. And you can even
Sooner
rather than later.
Sooner instead of later, yeah.
Yeah. You and Mew. So, as mentioned previously, the Master World Research for Shiny Mew will be available for anybody who purchased the ticket. So, the ticket will be $5. You'll be able to pick up the Master World Research story all in one, numbered 151. Only originally available in the Pokemon Go Tour Kanto in 2021. They're finally making this story available once again on our 7th-year party. And of course, if you complete it, you get a Shiny Mew, which is a guaranteed Shiny Mew regardless. Tickets for this Master World story will be able to purchase until Wednesday, July 12th at 8 p.m. local time. Once purchased, you'll be able to access the research, and then you can complete it at any time throughout the day, or any time throughout your experience of Pokemon Go. You just make sure that you do open the game during those times to actually receive the research. However, though, there is something that a lot of people don't actually know about this. Trainers who purchase or have previously received this Master World Research story can also enjoy the following bonuses during the duration of the 7th anniversary. 2 times instance duration, 2 times daily adventure instance duration, and 2 times lore duration. However, though, trainers who purchase a ticket to the Pokemon Go Kanto will not be able to purchase this Master World Story research. So that means, to make sure that everybody hears it, and please go ahead and clean your ears if you haven't, you cannot get a second Shiny Mew from this. Mostly because this is what's available for one time for everybody to get it. This is just another chance for people who either didn't play the Kanto event, or weren't able to play the Kanto event, or weren't able to purchase the Kanto event, to be able to finally purchase this and be able to play throughout it. Now, I'm going to say this is one of the hardest, or second hardest, Master World Research we had. Mostly because you actually have to care about levels. Mm-hmm. One of the tasks, I think in the 3rd task or something, means that you have to reach level 40.
Yeah.
So you do have to grind too if you want to actually get your Shiny Mew. Now, I know a lot of the people that we know here today are level 50 and above, so it really isn't that much a problem. But there's a lot of people
level
like
50 and above?
40. I said 40. I mean, we're above 50 anyway, so or at least I'm above 50. That's up to you. No, but anybody above level 40 and above, we know a lot of people like that. Unfortunately, there are people who have either restarted playing the game just recently or have not actually played the game for now, and they're stuck in the 30s, and it's gonna take a while for them. I would still suggest purchase the tickets because in the end of the day, you will be able to get it once you reach that part of the level. And if you complete it or reach level 40 before you get to that point, it's just automatically claim for anybody to play. So.
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty wild that Pokemon Go has given people 2 chances to get this shiny, and I can only think of one instance you had to hunt for the shiny yourself in the main series. I don't even know if they gifted Shiny Mew before.
It was through a special distribution event, and you can only get in Japan, I think. But overall, it was never available worldwide until just recently, until the 2021 Mesa World Research. Because
I know you could get Mew
right
from the Eon tickets.
Correct, but unless it was the full on, regardless, the shiny Mew was not something that was available. Worldwide. It's not an easy one at least, and also it's not really available in the main series games. So this one right now is it's as exclusive as the Japan one. It's just that now everybody's able to get one. So it's kind of one of those things that you gotta be careful. Plus, you never really send it to home.
Yeah. I saw a lot of people complaining. They're like, "Oh man, I wanted one to send to home."
Yeah, and
I'm like, they wanted to feel special.
The really difference when it comes out there, this is not more. I don't feel this is a Niantic's decision. This is a Pokemon company decision. They don't want people to be able to have so many more shiny Mews that it should be because all the mythical Pokemons are exclusive.
It's gotta feel rare.
It's gotta. Yeah, so it's though now more available to others. It's still nice to have at least exclusivity of one shiny Mew per account. And since you can't trade it to anybody else's, it's really only for you and you only. So. Even if you get, a second account, which, we don't recommend because in the end of the day, you can't really do anything about it. But yeah, more to the event, of course, during the 7 years anniversary on July 9th on Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. Community Day Classic is a thing with Squirrel Squad Squirrel. And what will be happening? Well, Community Day of Squirrel will be appearing frequently in the wild. If you don't know what that means, then please just read the blog. New avatar items and stickers. We do have some new top sets and pants for the 7-year anniversary. I liked it. I like it a little more than usual. And then stickers. That's pretty much it. Any thoughts on this event, Chris?
Definitely interesting. I'm not a big fan of them doing different stats for different days, like 2 times XP some days, 2 times Stardust other days. Definitely an interesting way to do it. It kind of feels like, if somebody only has like 1 day off, though, they're kind of getting, screwed, though, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I would be lying if I said I wasn't excited to get out there and play.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I will say that that's my only like real complaint is, why spread it out this much? But it does look like they're saying, by wording things like the following Pokemon will appear more frequently on certain days. That makes me think that all the Pokemon are going to be spawning, but certain ones will, overweigh the spawns. That's
Sure.
what I'm hoping, at least.
Sure.
Because I would like to catch them all on every day.
Yeah, it's no Kanto event or anything when it comes down to it, but in the end of the day, having the chance of every single one, it's kind of cool. You just have to pick and choose in a couple of days. When it comes down to somebody who's level 50, that Stardust and all that will probably be okay. But the ability for experience and everything is already out the window since there's really not much to go about it. Some other bonuses are still pretty cool other than one and others, and of course some of the starters that we need for extra large candy and things like that. It's not that I will probably play every single day, mostly because I cannot play every single day. But at the same time, it's more like I can at least pick and choose which day it will be better for me to play when it came down to it. So it's a good choice after that. But yeah, that's the 7-year anniversary. Happy birthday, Pokemon Go! 7 years. You're still a little kid to us.
Yeah, it honestly feels like we were celebrating the year anniversary last year.
Last year.
It feels like we were celebrating it very soon.
Yeah.
Like not too long ago.
It is what it is when it comes down to it. But yeah, hopefully, a few more years to go, we get a 10-year anniversary, and that's when we know we have everything in the game or something like that. That's never possible. I mean, so in this grand scheme of things, between Go Tour and Go Fest, Go Tour is now really helping us making sure that we fill on our shiny decks around. So we'll have Gen 4 next year, Gen 5 the following year, Gen 6 the year after that. So that's at least 3 years to Gen 6. And then Gen 7 and 8 and 9, which, is at least another 3 years after that. So if we have enough content, that's at least a good 6 years still for Pokemon Go before we can have every signage release. And by that point, we'll have a 10th generation. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I just hit lucky friends with my best friend. I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, I'll definitely be opening gifts tomorrow. So
yeah, I've been hitting lucky friends pretty frequently this past week. So I've been kind of surprised because it has not been this common for a while.
Definitely not. But yeah, so prep for community day. Don't die of heat. Get enough balls. Get all those research. Remember. just saying a few things for Community Day Classic.
Yeah, I definitely got to run the Go Plus to get them balls.
Yeah. One thing's for sure, make sure that you're doing the research field task, because those are the ones that will award you with the squirrels, with at least the sunglasses ones. Let's finish those. Usually are pretty easy. I don't know if they're going to make it any harder, but I think it's just usually catch 3 squirrels, and then you'll be able to get it anyways.
Yeah, I'm assuming they'd be the same as the normal community days, because I doubt they want to confuse people that much.
Yeah, but yeah, it should be fine. And again, just make sure you're plenty of water this summer. Have some food on the side if you are having dinner after that or something like that, and then just make sure of a few things. But yeah, any other tips that you want to give the community for Community Day?
Clean out the Pokemon that you don't want. I'd say something people don't think about is transferring to home. So if you have a lot of Community Day shinies, especially, you can keep a few in your game, but definitely transfer what you can into home. And since it has a timer, you can transfer more and more after that timer, like for the energy goes out.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Transfer everything you can out of the game, because at the end of the day, you're just stockpiling, a bunch of repeats if you're just keeping them all.
True. So just keep an eye on that when it comes down to it. But yeah, that's pretty much all the good tips that we can give you. There is one thing about this month is that new Gold Plus should be coming in pretty soon.
Oh, baby.
So if you guys want to purchase an official device from Niantic that will actually allow you to catch Pokemons on the go, that's one device that I recommend. I'm waiting for mine.
Ultra Balls.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
People are going to be complaining, though.
I don't have enough Pokeballs. I'm like, yeah, because you're not using any Ultra Balls. Trainer Mystic, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. But yeah, so that's that. And then real quick, let's go over our stats after 7 years of Pokemon Go. Now, of course, I'm already level 50, so that's kind of simple. But Chris and, we have different stats when it comes down to the game. Let's just check a few of the ones that we already have, like one of those platinum meters out there. I definitely have a lot of gold medals from a lot of the events. Some of them being City Explorer Fest for Philadelphia, even though I never went there. Safari Zone early access for the 2020 Philadelphia, which I never went there. Pokemon Go Fest early access for Chicago. That was actually a good one. Chicago was pretty cool. But yeah, a lot of different things. I do have the Legacy level 40 medal, which was pretty cool before they released level 50 into the game. The Pokemon TCG Willow card. That's also pretty hyped. Then we have things like I do have a 103 collection challenges completed. I wish that would make it a little bit easier to see every single one, but it is what it is. I have walked over 15,000 kilometers. I have gotten all 151 Kanto. I have caught over 248,000 Pokemons in total after 7 years. I have done over 7,000 evolutions in game, which that kind of just went down after what? I have hatched over 20,000 eggs.
Dear Lord, man.
That's crazy. I have spawned over 142,000 stops. I have seen 3,958 unique Pokestops. I do have at least 2,900 Pikachu fan medal, the Johto badge, the champion badge for the raids. This one is if you complete 2,000 regular raids. I do have the platinum for the legendary raid, so it's 4,000, so that's pretty nice. I have defended 28,000 gym leader, the Hoenn badge, finally. I have done over 13,000 field research tasks. I have become with 173 best friends. I have traded over 3,000 Pokemons. I've done 808 surprise encounters. I have done over 4,000 rocket stops or rocket members. I have done 335 trialatelet. This is the streaks for 7 days every single time, so that's pretty good. I have done 249 different species of raids. I've done 4,926 raids with a friend. That's crazy. I have been able to lure up the party everywhere for over 9,500 Pokemon caught with people using my lords. I have Mega Evolved successfully 1,372 Pokemons. And I have done 2,523 achievement screens from the raid experts. So that's a lot of raids, actually. And those are all my platinum medals. I have never completed ones for like Magic or anything like that. So that's I'll leave that to you, Chris. How about what you got?
For Magic?
No, just for everything else, like the ones that you just got down the list, I guess.
Oh, you're asking for the top ones, kind of?
All your platinum medals, at least.
Oh, okay. So not counting all the... well, I'll go through the events really quick, I guess. The City Explorer Pass for Philadelphia 2020, Pokemon Go Fest Early Access Chicago, Pokemon Go Safari Zone Philadelphia, which we didn't attend, Pokemon Go Fest Global for 2020, Pokemon Go Kanto, that was pretty hype. I do like that.
Yeah.
Colossal Discovery 2019, Drive to Investigate, Investigating Illusions, Special Weekend, Legacy 40, Pokemon Go Fest 2021, Pokemon Go Fest 2022, Pokemon Go Tour Johto, Team Building Great League, Ultra Beast Arrival, Pokemon Go Tour Hoenn, love that. Pokemon Go Tour Hoenn Las Vegas, Pokemon Go Tour Hoenn Las Vegas, because we went both days.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go Tour Egg Enthusiast, Pokemon Go Raid Lover. They give you gold just for paying more. What?
Yeah, I know, right? That's hilarious.
I have 89 for the Elite Collector. I think that's partially due that started from the Kanto. I wasn't able to do a Zapdos raid, and it just perpetuated from that.
Right.
I actually hit platinum for Jogger like not too long ago. I'm at 12,279 right now.
Yep.
Obviously platinum in Kanto, platinum collector for 204,000 catches. Scientist 6,862 evolutions. I do not evolve that often. I only have 5,852 eggs. I'm not anywhere close to you.
You're not. You're definitely not an egg enthusiast.
Nah. I'm not an egg addict. 91,919 Pokestops.
That's not bad. You're almost at 100,000.
Yeah, I to be fair, I don't really use the Go Plus as much as I should.
That's the difference
So
in
I
between you
know
and
that
I.
affects
Yeah,
me. Yeah.
I use it all day.
I'm at 3,809 unique Pokestops. I'm honestly surprised it's not higher.
Wait, how much? 3,000?
809.
Oh, we're actually pretty close on that.
Ooh.
We're like 100 or so away, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm at 2,183 Pikachu. You'd think it would be higher with how many events they have.
Yeah, I know, right?
100 for Johto, 2,191 for legendary raids. You'd think it'd be higher.
No, that's actually the champion one is the regular raids, so that's not legendary. Oh wait,
No,
you
I'm
don't
saying
have
Battle Legend.
Oh, you had you actually don't have the champion one then.
Yeah, I don't think so. Which is weird because like I think it's because they don't count them for both.
They only count non-legendary ones for the champion one and then legendary ones for the battle legend. So yeah, you got over 2,000 for it. So at least you got the platinum for that one.
Yeah. Gym leader 41,622.
Yeah, you beat me on that one.
I got the Hoenn 135 and Pokemon Ranger 12,646. Idol 179 best friends. Honestly,
Oh, you got more than I do.
should be higher for that.
Oh,
Well,
you-
I should. I feel like I should be higher.
I gotta clean up
With
a
how
lot of
many
my friends.
friends they let us
Yeah, I
get.
know. Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotta clean up a lot of my friends who don't play anymore. So
5,317 trades.
more than me.
Happy with that.
Yeah.
Great League veteran, 5,496. You know, I like my Great League battles. I actually hit platinum for Ultra League not that long ago.
Cool.
1,643.
Nice.
I don't have Master League yet. Cameraman, 463 surprise encounters in Go. Definitely do your Snapchats during the events.
True.
Snapshots. Purifier. you know, we had to get the platinum.
I don't have that yet. No.
Guy. Yeah, I got to 1,000. I stopped purifying.
I still have that at silver actually.
What? Oh my.
I only do have so many good I have like a bunch of them that I have to just purify.
Guy.
I don't spend much time.
1,039 for me.
Yeah, no, I have like 412.
Literally any of the cheap ones you can do those.
Yeah, no, I'm keeping a lot of the cheap ones
and I transfer them right away.
But that's what I'm saying.
That way I don't have to.
I have to go through the entire list that I have and just purify every single one. I'm just gonna do like a mass purify session one day because I gotta clear out the my bag.
Yeah, I'll be like, I catch a Magikarp. Oh, it's trash. Okay, purify transfer. Like so I can get it off my mind.
The one Magikarp that I got that was a Hundo, I couldn't really purify that.
Oh yeah, no. And then after that, I have Hero 4,966 Team Go Rockets, Triathlete 290 for the streak. I honestly mess up the streak a lot. Rising Star, defeat 150 different ones. I'm at 188.
Okay.
Successor Mega Evolve. I just hit this not that long ago. 1,017. The raid battle trainer, whatever, 641. It's pretty much random. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for platinum. So I'm still working on a bunch of other ones. I'm really close to Battle Girl. So that's probably one I need to work on.
Oh, that one is gonna just be a sit down and do all your like battle leaders or something. So
yeah, for the badge that they need for the research question. Yeah, I'm not sure what they mean by that.
Battle Girl is the one that you can actually do if you just battle against the team leaders. So Blanche, Candela, and Spark. You can just go ahead and hit them up and then battle them every time and then once every other time and then it'll just go up
what
or
are they
something.
talking about with the research quest in chat though?
I was actually going through that. There is I think it's for the Master Board research. I think that's what way we wanted to actually talk about. What badge do I need to research for the research quest tomorrow? If you're buying the Master Board research, you do need to earn the Platinum Kanto medal. So you do have to catch all the 151 Pokemons from the Kanto and register in the Pokédex. So to continue on that quest.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And then, of course, a few more after that, you do have to catch 30 Pokemon in a row, and then catch like 30 Pokemon of every single one of the types. So that's actually going to be a reasonable one. What batch? I think it's this one, just a regular Kanto batch. It's the 151. Once you complete 151 Pokedex, I think you need that.
Except Mew.
Except me, of course. Yeah, it's 150, not 151. So yeah. But yeah, once you get that, actually, does it count Mew?
It should. For the Pokédex, it should.
But that's an interesting one. Because technically, oh wait, actually that makes sense. Because when you're playing the game, even though you are a trainer who just started or returning from the game, you are able to complete the special research story for regular Mew, not for shiny Mew, but for regular Mew. So you do have to complete that. Yeah, you have to complete that to get 151. We will definitely make sure that we have that information for you next time. But do make sure that you buy the research even if you can't get it.
Man.
But
Yeah,
that's
that's interesting if that's the case.
Well, and you
That
think about
sounds
it.
right, though.
But the thing about it, like the regular Mew research wasn't that hard to do. Some people
No.
finish it in like 24 hours, so it was actually pretty easy in the end of the day.
Yeah, no, that's interesting though,
Yeah.
because I was thinking, man, that makes it impossible to get a screenshot of getting the shiny Mew in the Pokédex. Then
That was probably my only concern if it was for the 151 Kanto medal. However, though, the real grinder will be actually getting the regionals. Because there's a ton of
Yeah.
regionals in
That's
Gen
true.
1. And that was when the game first came out. So Kangaskhan, Farfetch, Tauros.
I will say they are a
And
lot
Mr.
more
Mime.
common now, though.
True. So I'm sure that a lot of people probably can trade you if you do have the ability to trade with a lot of people with when it comes down to it. So make sure that you are coordinating some special trades, because if you don't have them in the Pokédex, that will be one special trade that you can do regardless of what it is. And a lot of Stardust. So, one of those things in the end of the day. But yeah, that's that. But yeah, I'm glad that at least I'm a first day player when it comes down to Pokemon Go 7.6, so that's pretty cool. And I do have over 238 million experience in the game. So it's been fun. 7 years, crazy. Well, that being said, Chris, you have anything else to say about that?
Yeah, get out there and play. Catch Pokemon however you want to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're trying to get Mew, especially if it's the shiny one, I'd say if you didn't get it the first time, grab the special research now. Even if you can't complete it right away, it will be a nice reward when you can.
Yeah, definitely. And again, don't be afraid to say that you need to complete it right away. Some things are gated, so it's definitely something that you'll just have to plan in about when it comes down to the Master World
Yeah,
research.
it's not a timed research.
Yeah, you can complete it at any point, and it's gonna be a tedious one, but it's definitely going to be worth it at the end. The final reward is really worth it, even though sometimes the IV sucks.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
mine's not good.
Yeah. Real quick, let's get into some PvP action. Get good, get wrecked. Here we go, Chris. So you actually want to know something funny? I've been doing some sets for the last few days.
Good job. I'm proud of you.
I am ranked 13 right now. It's not bad. I mean, I've done 70 battles.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
I have done a streak of 9, and I won 48. I suck.
No.
I've been doing a lot of the Master ones. Even Master Premier is actually pretty fun right now. So I did do a couple of Great Leagues during, of course, the Battle Weekend.
Yeah, that's definitely the best time to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just because, you get pretty much like a head start.
And I had really nothing else to do, so I just said, let's just knock out a couple of sets. It was pretty good.
Especially when they get that free research in there, too.
Yeah, the one. I didn't get the ticket. I just got the hat and the Lita. Yeah, I got the hat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I did. I was able to at least do that much.
Cool.
But after that, I was just doing sets after sets for a little bit. I was just having fun, which is actually really good. The national competition happened last weekend too. Congratulations to all the winners.
Yeah, first Canadian winner.
Yeah,
so international. That's pretty insane.
So very congrats, and then you have a world invite, which will be next month. Very, very close now. Golfits is also next month, so that's gonna be another time to be alive, I guess.
Yeah, now that I say that out loud, I think they weren't counting the Go because I'm pretty sure King won the other international. I'm pretty sure, unless he was just like put right into Worlds.
Well, I mean, he won. He has his invite, and of course, he was also part of the crew that makes sure the Pokemon
Yeah,
Go is good and playable.
because I'm thinking it might just be because they're talking about the card game for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Aside from everything else, I believe that all the competitors are good. There's definitely some really strong competitors for Worlds. I'm definitely gonna be watching this Worlds if I have the time, because again, preparing for GoFest is definitely another thing. And then I want to see all the cool action that everybody's going to be going for, all the GoFests out there, London and Yokohama, which I'm pretty sure will have more content for Yokohama than from London. So, because I think like most, if not everybody's going to Yokohama this year.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to compete with Japan,
Yeah, yeah.
especially when it comes to Pokemon.
Yeah, but if the case may be, we'll probably see a couple of people here and there. I think some people from the Incense podcast actually are from the Europe area, so they're definitely probably going to be going to the London one, unless they're really thinking about going to Japan too. Then that one I haven't read at this point. So, regardless of how it may be, anything else to add? Let's make sure that we don't have any other news that hasn't happened yet. Okay, what's Niantic tweeting out? Oh, that's nothing. Okay, cool. Oh. Looks like some things are starting to appear for contests. The new feature. That's interesting. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, anything, Chris? Anything else to add, Chris?
Nothing that comes to mind, but I know I'll think of it right afterwards.
Probably. So once again, thank you so much for everybody for listening to the podcast on podcast services fees or coming into our live stream today. We really appreciate your patronage. If you guys want to make sure that you're following us here on Twitch or any of those other podcast services, make sure you check us out. Podcast service fees, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, many of those places to be. If you can leave us a review too, greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. We do have some social media. Myself at Pure Let It Go, Chris at PKMN Trigger Please with a Z at the end. Purified Podcast for any news about Pokemon Go, of course, or anything related to the podcast. Email us any type of info or anything that you want to talk to us about on purifiedpodcast@gmail.com. Just tell us about your day. That'd be nice, You can also join our Discord. It's free. We'll try to always communicate throughout that if you guys want to reach us out. And then don't forget to check us out at thepurifiedpodcast.com, the Professor Network. Chris, how about you finally take us away for a 7 long years of Pokemon Go and the night?
Yes. 7 years strong. Plenty to go, I'm sure. I hope you guys have enjoyed the ride as much as we have. Honestly, even though whenever they announce, more and more things, there's always less that they can announce for the future. But I think even after they run out, I think there's always going to be new Pokemon, and it's just going to be fun to go out and play, honestly.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, it was just fun to catch Pokemon day one. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the game. Hope you guys get out there, grind, be safe, drink water, don't get too much heat. And we'll catch you guys next week, where hopefully we got even more news for you.
Yeah.
So peace out, guys. Enjoy your time.
Keep purifying, everybody. We'll see you guys next time.